NBA Shop has all the latest sports apparel. Click the link for the newest jerseys, hats, and clothes from all your favorite NBA teams.
My guy, A.K.O.Y.E. What up, D?
What's good, man? How you?
I'm chilling, bro.
How you? Chilling, man. Chilling.
So what you got going on today?
No, man, I'm about to get in the mix. I gotta go pick up my son in a second. You know what I mean? He in Catholic school out north or whatever. But I gotta go pick him up in a second. But I wanted to stop by, holler at you real quick. So, you know what I mean? Here I am.
All right. Gervonta Davis stops Rolando, Romero. 6th round.
Yeah.
One clean shot.
Yeah. I'll give Gervonta his credit for.
Smooth, man.
All right.
That shit was about to cook us.
Oh, the son?
Yeah.
All right, you want to start again?
No. Go ahead.
I'll give Gervonta his credit for having that one-punch knockout power, because that's like the great equalizer in boxing, in my opinion. Is like you got guys who, like Jarrett Hurd, right? Look up Jarrett Hurd and Erislandy Lara, right? Lara is clearly the better fighter out of the two as far as skill set, but he don't have nothing that he can stop Hurd with. So Hurd, being the weight bully that he is, in my opinion, was able to walk through him and pull that out, right? Gervonta was clearly uncomfortable due to Romero's size, his judo background, his strength. You can see he had some power. He hit Gervonta with some stuff that you know Gervonta ain't want to mix with him. You can tell that. He even said it himself. He was like, not yet. Ain't want to get in yet, right? But being able to, like, he took like a half step back and cracked him. Like, being able to knock a guy that's clearly bigger than you and maybe even stronger than you out with one shot like that is impressive. And that's really what's missing in boxing in the lower weights, for real, for real. You got guys that can beat you down. Errol Spencer beat you down. You know, they'll break you. They hit hard enough to break you. But that one punch, just knockout KO power without you being a Teofimo Lopez type where you bigger than most of the guys that you fighting, that was impressive coming from Gervonta, because he was clearly the smaller man and he seemed real uncomfortable. So that discomfort showed. But I give Romero his credit too, though. Like he fought a good fight. I wouldn't say that, you know, I wouldn't say what he said, like I exposed him. I wouldn't say that. But he definitely showed that if you're not afraid and you got some sort of pop with you, and you come with some tenacity, you can definitely give Gervonta some trouble. He definitely gave him some trouble. So I give him his respect for that.
Where do you think that power comes from?
Gervonta's?
Yeah.
See, I think Gervonta looked like one of them young boys that, one, like angry all the time, right? But two, he looked like he was fat when he was a young boy. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I know Miguel Cotto was like 212 pounds at the age of 12. And I know that's where his power came from, because he was a fat guy. So when you lose all that weight and then you still walk around, it's like being in the hyperbaric chamber in Dragon Ball Z. You walking around with all that extra weight on you, and now you lost it. You still got the muscle twitch and the fibers of a guy that's bigger, because you had to carry around all that weight if you was an active, heavy-set youngin. So I don't know Gervonta's background fully, but I think it come from like just tenacity, like he worked hard on it. And he might have just been like one of those guys that was like a heavy-set young boy, man. Because when you look at his, no disrespect to moms and nobody else, but you can look at the frames of the people in his family. They're not little people, you know what I mean? But he's small, so it might come from that. You know, you got guys that walk around like that, they're just sturdy for no reason. He one of them. You know, he one of them. He definitely got some pop though, and I always thought he had it, but to be able to knock Romero out the way he did, that was impressive. I think that particular knockout though came from the fact that Romero showed him something. You can't show a guy, especially a sharpshooter, you can't show somebody what you're trying to do and then do it again. You know what I mean? He showed him that right hand, that overhand right, and then he did it again right behind that without, you know, no defense. You know what I mean?
What did that remind you of? Is it a particular fight?
He already called it out. That was Marquez and Pacquiao when Pacquiao got knocked out. But there's a couple guys that got knocked out that way. But Marquez and Pacquiao was one of them. Like, he showed it to him and then he showed him again. But it's also one of his own, Leo Santa Cruz.
Yeah.
Leo Santa Cruz showed him a right hand. He hit him with one. And then he went to go do it again immediately right after that. He caught him with that uppercut. So one of his own knockouts was just like that too. You know, he knocked out Santa Cruz that same way.
Does that show his underrated IQ? Because a lot of people just look at him as a puncher. But as you can see in two instances, he recognized something.
I think that's a misnomer anyway. Like when people say he got an underrated IQ, I don't know. I don't think a guy. You got different styles of fighters. Like his IQ is predicated to like you would say a primate is smart, right? A monkey's probably smarter than a lion, right? but their focus is geared towards the task that they got to achieve or that they got to perform. You know what I mean? A boxer don't think like a puncher. So he has a high IQ. He's trying to execute something different than you because he knows he's not the type that's going to sit on the outside and beat you off points. He's not a defensive-minded guy that's trying to make you miss. So that's not what his IQ is predicated for. But he know how to get to you. So I think anybody that's seeking destroy, you can see it with certain guys. I won't name this youngin, but it's a youngin that's coming up under somebody I know who got the power, but he's trying so hard to knock you out without the IQ. You can see it. So if you don't know how to set it up, you don't have an IQ, you can't set up your power in the first place. And he's been knocking guys out for a minute. So I never doubted his IQ, but it does show that he understands what he needs to be doing. So you can't show him something and then, do it again. You can't do that. He got a fastball that don't lose.
As far as Rollies go, how do you think he performed?
My hat go off to Rolly. I think Rolly, if he would have been a little bit more patient, settled down a little bit, I honestly think Rolly could have taken him a little deeper and maybe started imposing some of his size on Gervonta. Because one thing that I noticed, and if he said he exposed him, maybe he talking about this. Gervonta don't move around a whole lot. He have Gervonta from pole to pole moving. And that'll tire anybody out if they're not used to doing it. Guys like Amir Khan and Thurman, they can move on their feet all night. They're not going to get tired. That's what they do. But that ain't Gervonta thing. I haven't seen him do that regularly. So I think around the 8th round, that might have started wearing on him. When you walk into a guy and he's running and literally moving fast, he's exerting a lot of energy to get out your way, and you leaning on him when you get there, that could wear anybody down. So I would have wanted to see what would have happened around round 8, round 9, if that would have kept going. Would Gervonta's attrition got to him? I don't know. But so he did show that. He was making him move a little faster and a little bit more off that back foot than he usually does.
Who do you want to see taking the ring with next?
Man, I don't know. I think Haney would be a good fight. I don't think he's going to fight Haney, but I think Haney would be a good fight. They say he's trying to get him to fight Ryan Garcia. That would be a great fight. I think he kills Garcia. Anybody without footwork that's not like a solid guy, you got to be a little evil to fight Gervonta because you can't be scared to come in the wheelhouse. I don't think you, and I think Haney got that. Shakur got that too, but I think Haney got that where he's a boxer. But when he showed me against, what's the kid's name? Linares. He showed me against Linares that he got some grit to him. Even though he got clipped, he got some grit to him. So that'll be a good style fight because Gervonta got enough power to knock Haney out with one shot. Haney got enough skill set and enough grit to be able to kind of set traps for Gervonta and give him problems all night. So both those guys, I don't think it's an automatic win for either one of them. I think that'll be a good fight, and it'll be a big fight. When you look at Ryan Garcia, that's a big fight with anybody in the division because he got the star power. But I don't think his footwork, he's a lot like Cotto to me. He got good punching power, good hand speed, good upper body movement, but his feet ain't there. He don't got footwork at all. Not Cotto, but Canelo doesn't either. Yeah.